Nah, Professors, Dean, for my thesis, I've elected to devise a self-sustaining, self-evolving, matter-based ecosystem in the universe of counting. 3 dimensions, and so I created the heavens and the earth. And now that you've devised this planetary ecosystem, how do you feel about it? Well, to be honest, I think it's pretty great. I mean, all in all, the universe is capable of sustaining itself.
Unless, of course, the 2-legged creatures with the smelly armpits blow it up.
That smelly armpits creature, that's what you did there. Well, I actually consider the human being the crowning achievement of my universe. Some say that Charles Darwin was wrong and that the Earth can be explained as a project of intelligent design. But have you seen the platypus? The blobfish? Kanye? Maybe the designer wasn't that all intelligent when he created the whole shebang by Rich Orloff.
You know what I like most about human beings? Their feet. I mean, sure, they're durable, but they're also quite cute.
Thanks.
Do you mind if I save these photos?
Sure.
Why did you make them so stupid?
Oh, stupid, that's a strong word. I actually consider them quite intelligent.
Oh, stop exaggerating. It took them centuries to come up with the concept of a sandwich. I mean, how smart do you have to be to think of putting meat between 2 pieces of bread?
They're wonderful creatures.
What as wonderful as they may be, I mean, do you really think they could run the earth as well as cows? I mean, you don't see the Holsteins enslaving the Guernseys over the white cow's burden.
Okay, weird comparison. I will admit there was one major flaw in my development of the whole human race.
The capacity for cruelty, the proclivity towards prejudice,
the desire to destroy anything that they cannot control. No, and no. None of them seem to do sex right.
Well, they certainly tried their hardest.
When the universe was still in draft form, I realized I had to come up with some mechanism to compensate for the brutalizing aspects of life, and so I created the orgasm, and man, it was good. Really? Oh, yes. See, when their souls were revealed in a spiritual sexual union, they're reunited with the energy flowing through the universe, so that all of their goodness rises to the surface and is transformed into a light action. You really gotta be there to see it. Mind if I bring out a visual aid right quick? Where the hell are we? What's going on? Professors, I'd like to introduce 2 typical human beings, John and Mary Doe. We're not them. You're not? No, I'm John's brother Harvey Doe, and this is my wife Edna Doe. Hi, they're on vacation. We're just house sitting for them. Really? See how caring the human beings are? Well, John and Mary have cable, we don't, so. Wait a minute, who are you and how did we get here? Well, I transported you here and reatomized your bodies in this dimension. You're just a part of my science project. Oh yeah? What kind of science project are we talking about here? Not to brag or anything, but I created the heavens and the earth. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God! You mean to tell me I've been working my fingers to the bone just to be a part of some nerd science project? Yeah. These were not at all the human beings I planned on bringing. Do you mind if I start over again? Oh, what a shame. I had so many questions I wanted to ask them. Go ahead. Waste your time. Ask about my life.
Harvey, what is your occupation?
Used to work on an assembly line before a bunch of pea-brained a-holes laid me off.
And why were you laid off?
My entire division was replaced by a silicon chip.
What about you, Edna? Do you work?
Yes, I'm a directory's assistance operator. What's that? Well, when people are too lazy or stupid to use their phone books, they call me, I say, directory's assistants. They tell me they want to call, I press a button, and the computer says the number is 608-785-98, whatever the number is.
And how many times a day do you have to do this?
About 800 or 900 times.
Aren't you concerned this might eventually become boring?
Well, honey, it got boring after the 4th call.
Do you have any children?
Oh, yes. Michael, he's 16, and Wendy, she's 13. Oh, Michael just became leader at his drug rehabilitation group. Oh, but Wendy, she's still getting over the shock of menstruation and all that. Not to question her ways or nothing, but could you have thought of anything better than puberty? Sorry, not really. Harvey, it's just, he's supposed to be all-knowing and all-powerful, and he can't even make my teeth grow straight. I mean, do you know how much these cost me?
How's your sex life?
Fine.
Harvey?
It's fine, more or less.
More or less?
Yeah, it's fine.
It is.
Well, you created a woman. They don't seem to enjoy it as much as men. I always fulfill my obligations. Can't tell you how much turn on that attitude is. You know what? Maybe if you hadn't yelled out Vanna White's name every time you got excited. I did that once, and you bring it up 15 million other times. I swear, there isn't one actress on television he hasn't slept with, in his mind at least. I really don't think it's fair to judge the entirety of the human race on such a small sample size. Take responsibility for your actions, why don't you? I gave you free will. How would you and your free will? I exert my free will all over the place, and all that does is get me kicked out of bars. Okay. You misunderstand the concept. I gave you choices. Yeah. Like being able to vote and making all the candidates jerks. Harvey, it's just everything that's great about life, he's supposed to get credit for it. And everything that's lousy is our fault. Well, that's just not fair. Excuse me. We're almost out of time. If there are any more questions, now would be the time to ask them.
I have one more, if I may. Do you think life is getting better or worse?
Worse. Much worse. Everyone knows that. So why do you keep living? I just dropped 10 pounds. I'm not gonna stop now. Look, if you're suggesting that I drop dead, forget it. That makes way too many people happy. I don't think you realize how hard it is being a human being. You never feel like you have enough brains. You know, when I think that there are people dumber than I am, God, I get scared. Why did you have to make us so messed up? I just don't understand. I gave human beings everything you need. I've given you the keys to paradise. Oh, you're a real tease, you know that? Making the world so wonderful, but then making our lives so horrible. I mean, we may not be the best example of human beings, but we try our hardest. I mean, do you know how hard it is to try your best every day and have your life still suck? Don't touch me, Harvey, please. See what you did? It's okay, baby. You tried your best. Look, if you had just met John and Mary, oh yeah, show off a couple bozos, you made life real easy for them. I gave them the same exact universe I gave you. You know what? You sound just like my dad sometimes. Listen, John and Mary have done so much with their life, and I bet they would have given you the answers you wanted too. In all our lives, they would have bored us at dinner party saying, we helped the Almighty get an A on his science projects. God, they look so much better on paper. Well, if that's all, I think it's time for us to caucus and decide your final grade. Despite their flaws, they've survived for centuries.
Yes, their feet are so nice.
Yes, it's from the ankles up that make me nervous.
They're biodegradable.
Do you mind if I take off my slippers for just a moment? Go ahead. Thank you. Bunyan's acting up again?
Yes, Harvey, leave me alone about it. Bunyan's, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say that out loud. I think I've changed my final grade.
Yes, we have decided your final grade. There's much that is commendable about your project, both in Earth's evolutionary ability and its astonishing variety and beauty. Nevertheless, the human being's design is tragically flawed, and I'm afraid the best grade that we can give you is a C+. A C+? A C+? We do not live in a C+ universe. It's at least a B. Well, some of us felt the grade that we gave was quite generous. Well, you know what? All that I can say is that it's real easy to judge and sit there on your high horses and what's the word? Judge. How do you know that someone higher than you isn't giving your whole dimension an F?
I just don't understand. Even after all of your complaints,
Oh, so what? I was in a bad mood. You caught me at a bad time. It was right before bedtime. And on a Saturday, if you know what I mean. Oh, sorry. Those 6 minutes mean a lot to us. They do? Harvey, you know they do. I always thought, but I never wanted to assume nothing. Look, don't be too hard on yourself. Maybe you can try harder next semester. Sorry we gave your project a bad grade. That's fine, I shouldn't have goofed off on the 7th day. Well, I hope you know that we're glad you created us.